Yeah, we're live.
Yes, thank you. Okay, yes. What whoa, that's dope as hell. That's cool. Okay, yes, so we're going to do the news, and then I'm going to turn it over to Robert and then Elijah. So, what'd you say? Yeah, heckle me. Go ahead. Heckle me. That's okay. Yeah, look at this guy. Look, I made it. Look. Kayla. This week was like actually mad slow compared to last week because we had like the Exchange server stuff and the Verkada camera shit. Like that was crazy. This week was kind of lame to be honest. But there were a couple things. Jake, I don't know. Did you see this one or no? This one I found on Medium, so it was a little weird. Okay, so there was a security researcher that decided to test TikTok. Like they have a bug bounty program, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of weird, I guess. So he was searching for bugs. He found a couple, and after a while, he sort of chained these bugs together to get remote code execution on Android devices where TikTok was installed. So yes. Tell that to Kayla. Okay, so the first bug, I'm just going to run through these quickly. If you want to read the whole article, go ahead. I am not really explaining this very well, but I'll give you a quick rundown. So the first one was a cross-site scripting vuln in the like website version of TikTok. So this is how they sort of like entered into the whole system here. This is the first vulnerability that they found. So in like your Chrome browser on your like Android device or whatever, that's how they got that there. So this vulnerability basically allowed them to grab files from the device instead of from the TikTok servers. So they were basically just injecting their own files in that place. So that was done through that first vulnerability. The second one was persistent cross-site scripting. So this was done through URL validation. So cross-site scripting was disabled in the URL. Ooh, I almost pulled that. For HTTP and HTTPS schemes only. So they assumed that all other schemes would be considered invalid. So they didn't bother checking them. So I don't know. You'll have to read the article for the exact one he used, but he used that to get this. Go.
Didn't Microsoft buy TikTok?
No,
Oracle.
No wonder they have so many.
Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Okay, so that now they have persistent XSS. They added a wiki activity, like basically an entry to the TikTok wiki or something. Kind of weird. The next one is just they could start arbitrary components. So they literally, through the last step, they only had to set one parameter to false to do that. What?
Downloading.
What did you say?
yeah, you messed up with the shadow and the last one.
Oh, yes, thank you. Unloading. I appreciate it. The next one was the guy called it a zip slip. I thought that was kind of cringy. So I just changed it to zip substitution. So there's like this, in the I don't know if it was the code or something on the website had this like test. Yes. Oh, yes, thank you. Yes. Okay, well, it wasn't supposed to be there. It was supposed to be something that was deleted after you were done testing, but it still existed. And this was used to update the Android SDK by downloading a file from the internet, extracting it, and then running it. So literally what they did is just put their own zip there, and then they were able to do remote code execution. So they patched it, by the way. They did patch it, but yeah, TikTok RCU. It's kind of cringy. True. Just deletes TikTok off your device. That's the best malware.
They don't want to be a sponsor.
Ooh, tough luck, I guess.
We'll talk about it when they want to be a sponsor.
Yeah. If they want to, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Maybe. Okay. So the next one was steganography, which is, if you don't know what this is, it's basically hiding data within regular-looking files, sort of like as detection evasion techniques. So a security researcher was able to hide zip files and MP3 files inside of Twitter PNGs. So he hosted a photo that said, download this file and change it to a .zip. And it was a PNG from Twitter, and then it switches to the zip file with all the information within it, which is kind of cool. So how this works is Twitter usually gets rid of unnecessary data, but there are certain trailing information on the PNGs that Twitter adds, and it doesn't take out. So basically, they just put their data in there. So there's a couple requirements. Obviously, the zip or the MP3 cannot be bigger than the photo. Like, that's kind of obvious. The cover image has to have more than 257 colors. If it doesn't, then Twitter does this weird, they call it palette optimization, and it just compresses it a bunch. So make sure you don't use 256 colors, I guess. And the zip file or the MP3 should be either 3 megabytes to 5 megabyte range. Otherwise, Twitter will convert it to a JPEG, and then it won't work. And also, if your zip file or your MP3 has a lot of metadata, that also is like sus to Twitter, so they'll take it out. So keep it to a minimum. And then the researcher reported it to the bug bounty program, but they said it was a feature. It's a feature. So if you want to check it out, that link, the code's on GitHub. I don't know. And whoa, I have another one that's related. Crazy. I don't know if you guys, this was, actually it wasn't really that big. You probably didn't hear about it. So normally, say attackers get on a system, they send the data back to their C2 servers or team servers or whatever. Usually they're sending it over the network or something. So what these guys decided to do was just keep all of the data on the compromised server and put it into downloadable JPEGs. So basically what they did was, also this was on Magneto's e-commerce platform. They've patched the bug now, but it existed. So every time a client went to check out, they would generate a new JPEG file or image and store it in a publicly accessible place on the site containing the credit card data and other personal information like their emails, addresses, names, all that stuff. So obviously they weren't sending it out to their command and control servers or anything, so it wasn't triggering any alarms. Oh, and I missed this line. These are called mage card attacks. So basically what the attackers do is they exploit a vulnerability and then they modify the website's source code or the code on the website, and they put their own malicious code in there to steal customer data, just like that. So security researchers, I don't remember what firm found this, but they posted fixes for this, and they recommend that you monitor code modifications and adding of new files to the source code, that sort of thing, and make sure it's stopped. So two steganography ones for you guys today. It was a slow week, I guess. So that's it for the news. I'm going to turn it over to Robert. You're bringing your laptop up?
I can use yours.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go.
Robert,
Yes.
This is your theme song.
Zach should watch this one because
Do you share it with me on?
no, Zach.
It's on